The little girl ran after her father through the crowded parking lot, tears streaming down her face, while security escorted him out of the building carrying nothing but a cardboard box filled with family photos and a worn lunch bag. Moments earlier, one mistake had cost him the only job keeping a roof over their heads. The woman responsible never looked back. But just days later, stranded on a deserted roadside with no one willing to stop, she watched in disbelief as the same single father she had gotten fired became the only person who pulled over to help. Before this emotional journey begins, if you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances can change lives, please like this video, leave a thoughtful comment, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to our channel so you can continue sharing these inspiring stories with our family and our community. Colton Hayes had spent 7 years working as a delivery supervisor for a regional logistics company. Since losing his wife to cancer 3 years earlier, every decision he made revolved around his 9-year-old daughter, Ava. Their small apartment was far from perfect, but it was filled with love, laughter, and memories. Every morning before school, Colton packed Ava's lunch with a handwritten note reminding her how proud he was of her. He never wanted her to feel the emptiness left by her mother's absence. One busy afternoon, the warehouse was overwhelmed with urgent deliveries. Trucks were arriving late, customers were complaining, and employees were struggling to keep up. During the confusion, Colton accidentally placed one expensive shipment on the wrong truck. The mistake delayed an important delivery by several hours. Normally, the company allowed supervisors to correct honest mistakes. But that day, a demanding corporate consultant named Meredith Collins happened to be inspecting the facility. She had built her reputation on strict efficiency and believed mistakes deserved immediate consequences. Without asking about Colton's years of loyal service or the impossible workload everyone faced, she submitted a report recommending his immediate termination. Within an hour, Colton was called into the manager's office. His spotless record meant nothing against Meredith's recommendation. He quietly accepted the decision without arguing. As he walked out carrying his belongings, Ava, who had been waiting for him after school, ran into his arms. She didn't understand why her father looked so defeated, but she held his hand tightly as they left the building together. The following weeks became some of the hardest of their lives. Colton applied everywhere. He worked temporary jobs mowing lawns, repairing fences, and delivering groceries just to keep food on the table. Some evenings he skipped dinner so Ava would never notice how little money remained. Still, he smiled every morning because he refused to let hopelessness become part of his daughter's childhood. Meanwhile, Meredith continued climbing the corporate ladder. She believed discipline created success and rarely questioned her own decisions. Yet despite promotions and recognition, she found herself strangely empty. Every achievement felt temporary. She had become so focused on perfection that she no longer noticed the people affected by her choices. One bright afternoon, Meredith drove toward an important business meeting through a rural highway. Without warning, one of her tires burst. Her luxury car rolled safely onto the shoulder, but her phone had no signal, and hundreds of passing vehicles ignored her desperate attempts to wave them down. Minutes stretched into nearly an hour beneath the warm afternoon sun. Then an aging pickup truck slowed beside her. Meredith recognized the driver immediately. It was Colton. His truck looked older than before, carrying ladders, tools, and gardening equipment from another temporary job. Ava sat quietly in the passenger seat reading a library book. For a brief moment, Meredith expected him to drive away. After everything she had done, she believed she deserved to be abandoned. Instead, Colton parked safely behind her vehicle, turned on his hazard lights, and walked over with a calm smile. Without mentioning the past, he inspected the damaged tire and retrieved a jack from his truck. Ava handed him a bottle of water, which he passed to Meredith before beginning the repair. Watching him work, Meredith felt something she had not experienced in years. Shame. She realized the man she had judged from a single mistake possessed more character than many executives she admired. Even after losing his job because of her decision, he chose compassion over revenge. As Colton finished replacing the tire, Meredith finally asked how life had been since leaving the company. He answered honestly but without bitterness. Finding steady work had been difficult. Bills had piled up. Some days were frightening. Yet every challenge reminded him that anger would only steal precious moments from his daughter. Ava deserved a father who chose hope instead of resentment. Those words stayed with Meredith long after she drove away. That evening, she opened Colton's employment file for the first time since recommending his dismissal. She discovered years of outstanding performance reviews, dozens of customer compliments, and several letters praising his willingness to help coworkers after hours. One accidental shipping error had erased 7 years of loyalty. For the first time in her career, Meredith admitted she had confused authority with wisdom. The next morning, she requested a meeting with the company's executive board. She presented every document she had ignored before and accepted full responsibility for recommending Colton's dismissal without considering his history or the impossible conditions inside the warehouse that day. Several executives were surprised by her honesty. The company launched an internal review and soon discovered that staffing shortages and unrealistic schedules had contributed to numerous preventable mistakes affecting many employees. Colton had simply become the easiest person to blame. A week later, Meredith visited Colton's apartment herself. She apologized sincerely. There were no excuses, no attempts to justify her actions, only genuine regret. She explained that the company wanted to offer him his position back with full back pay, restored benefits, and a promotion to operations manager. They also planned to improve workplace policies so employees would be treated more fairly. Colton remained silent for several moments. He knew accepting would not erase the difficult weeks his daughter had endured. But he also believed forgiveness was stronger than pride. He accepted the offer, not because Meredith deserved forgiveness, but because Ava deserved stability. Over the following months, the warehouse became a very different place. Employees received better training, workloads became more realistic, and managers were encouraged to understand circumstances before making life-changing decisions. Meredith spent more time listening than judging. She visited the warehouse regularly, learning the names of workers she once overlooked. Colton earned the respect of everyone around him through quiet leadership and genuine compassion. Whenever a new employee made a mistake, he remembered his own painful experience and chose patience instead of punishment. Ava noticed the difference too. Her father laughed more often. Their apartment slowly became brighter again. Weekend picnics returned. Handwritten lunch notes never stopped. One sunny afternoon, the company organized a family appreciation event. Employees gathered with their loved ones in a local park filled with music, games, and smiling children. Meredith watched Colton and Ava laughing together and realized success meant far more than promotions or impressive titles. Real success was measured by the lives improved through kindness. Before this story comes to an end, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe one act of forgiveness can change someone's future, or share a moment when someone showed you unexpected kindness. As the afternoon drew to a close, Meredith understood that one careless decision had nearly destroyed a loving family, while one compassionate choice on the side of a lonely road had saved her own humanity. Colton proved that true strength is revealed not when life is fair, but when we choose kindness after being treated unfairly. Ava learned that her father's greatest gift was never his job, it was his heart. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Remember, the strongest people are not those who never fall, but those who still choose compassion after life gives them every reason not to.